Today, I'm going to show you how to build a 4-foot kiosk just like this. Step 1, design it. Step 2, produce the plans. Step 3, build it. Step 4, put the roof on it. And you're done. She's pretty dirt simple. I'm not going to do a full-on video just because of, it took like 3 people to build this, and I'm still all self-conscious about doing YouTube stuff while I'm, working with other people. So anyway, here it is. It's a 12-foot 4x4, 3 foot in the ground. Runs up just like that, and this is almost entirely my own design. I took an existing design that used I think the only thing I kept was, actually I don't think I used anything from it. Anyways, this is basically my entire design out of my brain. But a 12-foot 4x4, 3 foot in the ground, goes up 3 foot to the top of this 4x4. This is a 4-foot 4x4 running right in between it. And then we have a half sheet of 3/4 inch plywood running up to another 4x4, 4 foot. And then all around the perimeter of that are 1.5 inch boards. And this is just a 2x4 ripped in half to basically 1.5 by 1.5, a little bit off. I think we ended up selling with 1.5 by 1.25. 1.5 by 1.5 would be perfect because it would fit flush with this lip. But this is what we did with what we had. And then up here we have a 45-inch board cut at a 45-degree angle. That's 45 inches on the greater distance. This is a 66 and some change board cut at a 60-degree angle, and that's 60 degrees from the saw, 30 degrees from the side of the from the end of the wood. You know how it's complicated. And over here, it's just bolted right onto it. These 4x4s are connected with 5/16 lag bolts, swallowed a gnat there. And up here on the top, we just have 8-foot purlins. These are 1x4 furring strips. And I've got dug out about 9-inch diameter hole on either side, 3 foot deep. And then poured in 2 80-pound bags of concrete. And I put a lot more water in that one. And for whatever reason, the groundwater is way higher right here. So 2 80-pound bags in each of them, but for whatever reason, that one is like a foot lower for some reason. We won't worry about it. It'll settle, I think, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. And yeah, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to link the designs down here in the description. You can follow along. Do it how you will. But this is took 2 competent people, me and another guy, in order to put this together. And it was about all we could do to get it together. So it's probably a 3-4 person job, with at least one person who can pore over the plans and figure out what they want to do. And yeah, that's all it is. You don't got to prime it either. We just had a prime sheet, so we used it. Make our lives easier later on down the road. But yeah, 12-foot 4x4, 4-foot 4x4s, and then these are, 46.5 inches long. You see there's a big old gap there, and we're just going to ignore that. That's why it's on the back. These are, 46.5 inches long, 1.5 by 1.5. Nominally, doesn't need to be perfect. And yeah, they're just spaced 4 foot apart, like that. And then I've got them run like this so that, they're rotationally symmetrical, not mirrored symmetrical. You could do a mirrored symmetrical. You make these 48, and then those, 45, but I didn't do that. These are 45 inches long, cut at a 45. These are 66 inches long, cut at a 30, 60, whatever it is. They're cutting at an acute angle. I don't know. It depends on how you measure it. I measure that as a 30-degree angle because this is 30 degrees, but most people measure it as a 60-degree angle because it's 60 degrees perpendicular to the saw. So when you have a saw, you set the saw at 30. But anyway, I digress. It's 30 degrees at the tip. About 66 inches long. Doesn't need to be hyper precise, but if you do 66 inches, it lines up perfectly with the top of that with the bottom of that 4x4, and then it covers up the lag bolts up there. And it looks like you meant to do that because I did. And all of this came out working way better than I expected. I thought it was going to be a real pain in the neck. Don't get these cheap chintzy lag bolts, by the way. Buy the self-tapping ones because I have these big gaps down here at the bottom because I didn't buy self-tappers and because I brought the wrong socket. But yeah, that's how you build it. You just slap it all together, and then these are just on 13-inch centers with a 2-inch gap at the top. So it's 13 inch from the center of that. This one's flush at the bottom. 13 inch to 13 inch to 13 inch to 13 inch with a, well, 13.5 inch with a 2-inch gap at the top. And we're going to put roofing, just 5V roofing tin on the top and a ridge cap, and call it a day. That's it. Dirt simple. Takes 2 people, a lot of hands, very complicated. Just look at the plans. And I think all in all, even considering the inflated Corona prices for high pressure treated lumber, I think this set the organization back $350 if I were to have purchased everything brand new. But luckily I was able to salvage the purlins and the plywood, which saved probably a good, $60, $65. And we have a bunch of roofing tin left over, which saves about another, I think, like $150. So what's that? I think it's only maybe like $150 for us to build this. It'd be $350 if you bought everything new. Ain't bad. That's not counting these boards down here to stake the thing up and hold it in place. That's on you. You got to figure that out. I just got 2x4s that I cut to a point, drove in the ground, and then bolted in place. Real simple. So yeah, this is not an easy project. This is not a simple project, but it's not difficult. It just requires specialty tools and specialty know-how. If you're a contractor, you can do this no problem. No sweat. If you built a house, built a barn before, won't be an issue at all. But if you're coming at this square one, maybe don't attempt it. Yeah, I designed the thing and built it, and I sure as heck don't know what I'm doing. So it says that it's doable. Anybody can do it. You just may need to buy some stuff. You're gonna need at least a chop saw, a circular saw, table saw, impact gun, drill. What else? All your normal stuff: tape measure, pencil, speed square, etc. But it's nothing crazy. Nothing. If you've ever done contracting work, or you've ever done construction, or you are a carpenter, you'll have everything. No super special tools required. And you should be able, if you've got any donated stuff, you should be able to clear, under $350 if you can get the plywood under $300. Biggest cost was probably the 4x4s. And yeah, that's it. It's all held together other than the lag bolts with a 3.5 inch or 2.5 inch screws. I think I went and found some 1 3/4 to put the purlins on because 2.5 is a bit excessive. But 2.5 will do everything else. So I just to keep it simple, I went with 2.5 so that you only had to buy 2 boxes of screws rather than 3. And yeah, but 1 5/8 would probably be better for those. Only things I haven't done are put the roof on. I have not bolted this board to this perimeter, and I don't know if I'm going to. Probably will, but I need to clean it, so I don't want to do anything else with that first. And we need to caulk it, and if we're going to paint it, we need to prime it and then paint it after that. But I don't plan on painting it if I don't have to. The backer board's primed, so I think we should be good. I just need to clean all of the mung off of it because it's been sitting under a tarp for 8 months. And yeah, and if I want to run some 1 5/8, 2.5 inch bolts or wood screws through here just to hold the plywood in place. And I cut the plywood slightly less than 4 foot so I had some slop, and I mounted all of these just about 3/4 of an inch because the plywood shrunk down to 5/8. But if you buy brand new plywood, it's going to be 3/4, so you may want to do 7/8 to an inch. And it doesn't really matter. You can fill it with caulk or wood putty, whatever you want. Now that's looking snazzy. All reclaimed metal from the historic structure that this is on. And I was very worried that it was going to look horrible, and still don't look great, but it ain't bad. Turned out a lot nicer than I anticipated last minute. About as good as I had originally hoped. So that ain't bad. Saved $150 on roofing material. Can't argue with that. Now I think we're going to paint the board, and then that'll be it. But yeah, that's what the final product looks like. Just with nicer metal on top. And you can make it, about a foot shorter on either side. I just did 8 because that's the length boards I had lying around. Got a coat of paint on or 2, and another 50-pound bag of concrete because for whatever reason that one was about a foot lower than that one after they set. Don't know why. That one had red clay, that one had gray clay, even though they're only 50 inches apart. And that one filled up like halfway with water, and that one filled up like maybe a quarter. I'm sure that had something to do with it, but it's weird. And anyway, we got more concrete in here. And yeah, roof's on. And I think it looks pretty nice. You ignore the fact that the sun is directly in your eyes. So it's pretty simple. It's just 4 48-inch sheets of 5V roofing tin. I did mine 47 because I didn't have enough antique roofing material. And then 8-foot ridge cap. Well, I guess if you want to cut it to, I think I cut mine to 102. I would have done 100 if I could, or 101. Because of this, the roofing material is actually 99 inches across when you lay 4 of them together. At least this stuff is. And yeah, I gave it a 1.5 inch overhang on either side just to make my life easier. If you want to be fancy, you could let these go a little bit longer. I do 48 and give this about 1.5 inch overhang. If you want, you can fold it over. I haven't done that because there's no going back. And yeah, it's pretty simple. I just put it up there with self-tapping roofing screws. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to hold water because it's not going to hold water because this thing has holes in it already. Came pre-holed. But we'll see. That's what it is. It's that easy. There she is. All the way done. Antique roofing material and everything. She's not the most stable thing. She wobbles around a bit. You could use 4x6s or 6x6s if you wanted to. I don't think it would really change anything other than complicating some of the measurements. Yeah, but you could do 4x6s or 6x6s the whole way in place of all the 4x4s, and I think it'd be pretty good. May need to add a cross brace up there at the top, like in between those two guys, just to give it a little bit of extra wiggle resistance. But I don't think it's going to be necessary. We'll see what happens after the first hurricane. It'll probably be over there in the neighbor's house through the roof. And yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, make sure to go down there, give me a like, comment how I can improve this design, what you would do differently, what you learned, whether or not you think I'm an idiot or not. The answer is yes, but just tell me anyway. I need to know. And yeah, if you want to see more of this garbage, you gotta subscribe. So go down there, smash that subscribe button, and until next time, I'm out.